What is going on, guys? This is the Inside Brew Podcast, episode number 33, and today we're breaking down the New York Yankees today. The New York Yankees. The fifth place New York Yankees in the AL East. We all know the New York Yankees. We've all been trying to cheer for them, trying to hope for, maybe a change, maybe something happens, but nothing is changing right now with this Yankees squad. The Yankees continue to struggle. They can't score runs, and, ever since, Aaron Judge has come back, nothing really has changed. The pitchers, the teams have noticed, if they just walk Aaron Judge, they'll be totally fine. And it's the same thing with Shohei Ohtani with the LA Angels. The Blue Jays kept walking Shohei Ohtani after Matt Chapman said something, and Shohei Ohtani, I believe, walked every time after he said that. And teams are going to do the same thing with Aaron Judge. They know Aaron Judge can, change the game with one swing. They know how good Aaron Judge is. He's one of the best players in the league. And they're never going to pitch to him. And if they do, he's probably going to get a base hit or, a home run or something. Or at least, get on base a different way than just automatically walking. And you can't blame the teams for doing this. I mean, every team is going to do this when they play the Yankees. They're just going to keep walking Judge. And I know the fans are going to think, oh, maybe they pitched to him one time. They're not going to pitch to him. I don't ever see them going to pitch to him unless there's some sort of situation where they have to pitch to him, like if it's the bases loaded or something. But the thing is, if the Yankees have the bases loaded, they can't score. Kyle Higashioka, bases loaded against the Baltimore Orioles, and he does nothing. 3-1 count and we're swinging. Just not good. I mean, the Yankees, whenever they have base runners, they just can't score because they're so relied on the home run ball. They have been relied on the home run ball, all the time. I mean, they're always, top of the league in, the home run ball. And that's why they don't go very far. That's why the Yankees can't get over the hump. They can't go far in the playoffs because if their home run luck, dries out, they can't score. The fans love home runs. I love home runs, but, if you can't hit home runs, you're not going to score if you're the New York Yankees. And, you see how other teams score. They score in different types of ways, playing the small ball with the bunt, they find other ways to score, but the Yankees just always try to hit the home run, and it's hard to hit a home run in the MLB. It's not easy to hit a 95 plus fastball over the wall, which is like 380 to the wall, at least. 400 in dead center to the Yankee Stadium, but the Yankee Stadium is built for lefties. It is a short porch that they call it. Teams have complained about the short porch. This was not a home run in any other stadium besides the New York Yankees. I remember Anthony Volpe had a 3, or someone, it was either him or Stanton, hit I think it was 319 or something like that. It was such a a low number home run, feet wise. It was definitely the 310s or something. It barely got out. But that's not a home run in any other stadium. That's what they, say a unicorn home run, I've heard. It's a home run in every stadium besides the New York Yankees. And the Yankees could use the short porch to their advantage, but they have not. They have so many righties in this lineup, it's hard to go the other way. I mean, the only guy that can come to name that usually goes, to the right field wall is DJ LeMahieu, but DJ LeMahieu is struggling this season. I mean, he's had a pretty decent last few games, but he's struggling overall. Yankees need lefties. I don't know how many times I'm going to have to say it today on this video, but you need to get lefties and quality lefties. Billy McKinney is not going to get it done. Jake Bauers, not going to get it done. I mean, Jake Bauers is probably the best lefty you probably have right now because Rizzo's struggling. Billy McKinney has fallen down to earth after his solid start. Willie Calhoun got DFA'd. And yeah, Ben Rovert is Ben Rovert. He is nothing special. The Yankees need better lefties, and I mean, I'm surprised the Yankees didn't. I'm surprised they haven't figured this out yet. with the Yankees. Why have they not decided to get lefties? They know the dimensions of their stadium. Why not get a nice, few lefties? I think, you should have 5 lefties in this Yankee lineup. I think that would be the perfect amount of number, or at least a switch hitter or something like that. I mean, they had Oswaldo Cabrera, but he's just like all the lefties they're bringing in are not good lefties. Cabrera can't hit a fastball for his life. I mean, I've seen it every time. They blow a 96-mile-an-hour fastball right by him every single time. And that's why he's in AAA, because he can't hit in the MLB right now. Franchi Cordero can't hit. I mean, I don't even know why we signed him, because he was not good with the Boston Red Sox, and he's not good now. And we look at the team stats for this team. Batting average is .230. That is 29th in the MLB. Scoring runs, they have 458 runs scored. That's 22nd. And here we go. 146 home runs. It's 5th in the MLB. On base percentage is 26th. Slugging is 19th. And, the pitching isn't terrible. They're ranked 10th. So, I mean, there's a slight positive that they're ranked 10th. Because the pitching's been really the only part that, I'm not really too mad about. I mean, Garrett Cole has lived up to expectations this year. He's been amazing. Clark Schmidt has been better as of late these last month and a half. Severino is lost out there. He pitched from the stretch, it doesn't work. He pitched normally, it doesn't work. Regardless, he even said it in his postgame that he is the worst pitcher in baseball. And, I kind of felt bad for him. I love Severino. I really do. I loved him back when he started, with this organization. But now his command is off. Everything is off. He's just so easy to hit right now. And I mean, I don't even know if they're gonna move into the bullpen. I really don't know what they're gonna do with Severino. But if you think you're gonna get anything for Luis Severino, you're wrong. I don't think the Yankees are gonna be able to trade Luis Severino because his trade value is horrible. He has almost an 8 ERA now as a starting pitcher, and that is just unacceptable. To be a starter. I mean, I've said this before. Going into the season, I was really high on this rotation. Carlos Rodon, Garrett Cole, Nestor Cortez, Luis Severino, and Domingo Germán, Domingo Germán. But Nestor's been injured. Rodon has been injured. He finally got a few starts in. Had a good start against the Mets, but that's about it. Luis Severino's been bad. Domingo Germán is hit or miss in my opinion. I mean, his last few starts have not been great. Even after his perfect game, I think his numbers are not good. And he threw a perfect game. I mean, yes, it was against the Oakland Athletics, but a perfect game is not easy to do. And you look at the Yankee trade options, from Twitter. They're saying Wandy Peralta, Harrison Bader, Isaiah Kiner-Falefa, Gleyber Torres, and Luis Severino are the trade options. Those are kind of the guys that are, on a 1-year deal left of their contract. And if I had to be totally honest, I think the only guy that's getting traded out of those 5 names I mentioned is probably Gleyber Torres. Because he's got the most value right now. He's been playing the best out of those 5. I mean, you could probably argue, Wandy Peralta's been up there too. He might get traded. I mean, he's a good lefty. I think, he's got amazing numbers this season. I think he's got a 2.21 ERA, I think, if I can remember. And those are good numbers. I love Wandy. I didn't know what to expect of him when we first traded for him. But he has been good. That's a good trade that I liked. And another thing is the Yankees got to get younger. They are ranked the 7th oldest team in baseball at an average age of almost 30. And the oldest team in the league is the Mets, the last time I checked. And that's probably because, they had Scherzer. He's gone now. They had Verlander. He's almost gone. And they got a lot of old players on that squad. And, so do the Yankees. But the Yankees got to get better. And they need bats. And Um, I don't really know what to think. I don't know what the Yankees are gonna do today. Today is the trade deadline. Um, and I don't know what they're gonna do today. I mean, you look at their squad, not great at all, and this is definitely not a playoff team at all. The way Cashman built this team, it's most definitely not a World Series team. And I think if I had to check the percentage, it's 0.7% chance they make it to the World Series, and it's like a 9% chance at playoffs right now. They're like 5 games over 500 with a team that has the second highest payroll in baseball. How the hell do you make a team with the second highest payroll in baseball and you're fifth in the AL East? How does that happen? I don't understand what the hell was going through Brian Cashman's mind to not address the left field position. He kept saying it, oh yeah, left field's a, position that needs to be addressed. Didn't address it at all. You had IKF playing in the outfield more than anything. Why? I understand, he's a utility player, but it's hard to transfer to the outfield. And I mean, I think IKF has been okay in the outfield. I have no problem with him. But, I mean, I just don't understand the reasoning. You had Cody Bellinger in free agency, and where does he go? The Chicago Cubs. And, spoiler alert, the Cubs aren't trading Bellinger now, so there goes that option of trying to trade for Bellinger. And it was only a 1 year, $12.5 million. You could have easily got Cody Bellinger. Great fielder. He's got an amazing lefty bat. I emphasize lefty bat because you need lefties in this lineup. I don't understand. But let's get into some of the veterans that I've been a little upset with this season, and we'll start off with Giancarlo Stanton. Stanton, former NL MVP for the Miami Marlins. Of course, the Yankees went out and traded for him, and it's tough. Honestly, this was a tough trade. The outcome of it, because at the time it looked amazing. You got an NL MVP coming off, I believe, 59 home runs, nearly 60. The dude was smashing the ball in the NL. Comes to New York. First few seasons were good, and now it's just been an absolute train wreck. And you still got this guy for another 4 years. And they're obviously not going to trade him. They can't move him at all. And one of the things was, we were seeing him run around the bases, I believe against the Kansas City Royals. I've never seen someone run so slow around the bases, And, I mean, I don't know if he's playing injured, but he looks to be perfectly healthy. There's been nothing about, Giancarlo Stanton's fighting through an injury like what Trevino was. No, I think, Stanton's perfectly healthy. But my goodness, he was freaking slow. I'm trying to keep it PG here, not trying to, swear or anything, but he was, slow. And he's still slow. He's a liability in the outfield. Every time I see a ball get hit to him, he plays it so odd. I feel like, I don't know why. I feel like he plays it so odd because he's been so used to being a DH. And I mean, I don't know. And the problem with Stanton, as a Yankee is either he goes on a streak for games of home runs, like I think he hit like 6 home runs in 6 games, or you're seeing at least 2 strikeouts to his name in the box score. But now we get to Anthony Rizzo, and I think Anthony Rizzo has been one of the main names because ever since he had that neck injury against, Tatis, it's been not the same player at all. I mean, he was playing pretty good up until that point, and he's been absolutely horrendous now. And he was playing like a top 10 first baseman before that. I mean, he was playing really good. And we're not trading Rizzo, obviously, but you're going to have to ride him out on his contract, just like most of the veterans that I'm naming here. It's just so bad. Rizzo is so bad right now. It's unheard of because usually you don't see him this bad. Veterans have slumps. I understand that. Players have slumps. Judge had a slump. Torres has had a slump. IKF, now he's playing good. Volpe, LeMahieu, Harrison Bader, everybody. If I didn't say Torres. But now we get to Josh Donaldson. And apparently he took BP yesterday. After that grade 3 calf strain he had. And he's looking to play again this season. Why the hell did we not just shut him down? He's horrible. He's batting like 100 right now. Why the hell is this guy even going to be put on the field again? That is embarrassing. And it's even embarrassing to make that trade. Gio Urshela, young dude, was playing amazing ball. He did exactly what I like to see the Yankees do. Just put the ball in play and score. Gio Urshela wasn't a guy that just hit a bunch of home runs. He was a dude that just hit it in the gap, gets on base, and at times he hit some clutch home runs, like that home run he hit against the Guardians in the playoff series. But no, Brian Cashman thinks that, Donaldson's still in his prime. He's still got years ahead of great baseball. He trades for him, and he had a 2-year contract of $50 million. The Yankees could have used that $50 million to get better players. But no, we don't do that. We do the horrific thing and decide to, trade for him. And, Gary Sanchez was in that trade as well. I could, kind of get behind that because Gary Sanchez was struggling. And even Boone said in the offseason, I think press conference, Donaldson's got a lot more left in him. He's, we're expecting a bounce back year out of him. The dude's 37. He is old. He is washed. He is cooked, that some people say. Donaldson is cooked. He's no MVP player anymore. He is not the MVP like he was in the Blue Jays days. He's not good anymore. And even Brian Cashman said, Donaldson's a lot better than Gio Urshela. Upgrade there. Nope. Not at all, Brian Cashman. Another mistake that you made to the squad. And I bet Cashman wasn't the only one that approved of this. I bet, his buddies and his staff have, said, let's definitely make this move. And that's another thing. I was going to, bring this up, later, but Brian Cashman, he just re-signed. I think it was 3 years. So he's not going anywhere. If anybody thought, they were going to fire Cashman, it's probably not going to happen. But at least for Brian Cashman, at least get some more modern faces than your staff, rather than your 1990 guys that clearly don't have a grip of what today's baseball is. And the Yankee veterans have been bad. We know that. The Yankee veterans have been horrendous. Stanton, Judge, Rizzo. Not Judge, sorry. I don't know why I mentioned Judge. Not Judge. Donaldson, I meant. Rizzo and Stanton. Even DJ LeMahieu. They've been horrible. And I said this before. Judge is not going to get anything to swing at because the entire lineup can't hit. And another thing is, I was really confused on why Boone decided to sit Judge in that final game of the Orioles. Your team needs to win now. In this season, and it would be huge to take a series against Baltimore, who's currently the AL East leading team. Why didn't we play him? I don't know. I don't really understand why we didn't play him. And I'm kind of shocked. I mean, I don't know, what happens in the clubhouse and, what happened. I don't know if Judge tried to say something, that, Boone, I'm playing today. I don't care what you say. I don't know if he said that, but I feel like Judge would be the type of dude to say that. He tried to play in the Subway Series. They said no. I think, maybe this was another situation like, I'm trying to play today. My team needs to win. And I guess they shut him down right away. But I don't know. But let's finally get into Brian Cashman. Brian Cashman, of course, built this team. Never addressed the left fielder. He didn't improve the team at all after re-signing Judge. And, I understand, getting Rodon. Perfect. I like Rodon. I know he's had some injuries in the past, but overall he's had pretty good numbers. And they don't even help build the offense. It's not the pitching that's the problem all these years. You look at all these playoff series. You look at when they went into Houston. they couldn't hit. They couldn't hit at all against Houston. You look at the series against the Rays. They nearly lost the series against the Guardians last year because they couldn't hit, but they finally, put something together and found a way to win the series. But then, when they went to the ALCS, they couldn't hit at all, and they got swept in 4 games. When are they going to realize that the pitching's not the problem? The pitching, the pitching holds up, for long enough before the Astros finally get a few runs. The Guardians finally got a few runs. The Rays. Anybody. If the Yankees somehow made the playoffs, they would get smoked. They would get destroyed. And I don't think they're going to make the playoffs. That's, my early, my mid-season trade deadline prediction. They're not making the playoffs. This team is not good enough. And that's not Yankee baseball. The Yankees are usually in the playoff hunt, and they're usually making some noise. Some sort of noise. But they need to get bats. Whether it's at the trade deadline or it's some time in the offseason. They need to find a way to get bats. If Bellinger decides I'm not staying with the Cubs, I better see the Yankees in on Cody Bellinger. Because obviously you couldn't get him now. Juan Soto is probably a long shot because I don't think Brian Cashman's going to trade for him. And I don't think the Padres are going to trade him to the Yankees because the Padres still have somewhat of a shot at making the playoffs. I would love Juan Soto. He's a free agent in 2025. I would hope to get him. Lefty bat, young, his defense is, mediocre, but his bat is amazing. He gets on base. Him and Judge would be amazing. But the thing is also with Giancarlo Stanton. His contract is so long. And he's useless. So it's like, are we even going to be able to fit him in? I mean, the thing is also with Shohei Ohtani. If you're trying to get Shohei Ohtani, I don't know if you can be able to get him. Because Shohei Ohtani does not play the outfield at all. He is a DH only, and he pitches. Giancarlo Stanton is usually a DH, but they decided, let's put him in the field because his numbers are a little bit better than, when he's only DHing. So, I don't know if the Yankees are even going to get Shohei Ohtani, when he's a free agent, which is this year. Unless the Angels, get him back. But I don't know, but this has been the Inside the Blue podcast, of course. And, of course, hit that like and subscribe. The Yankees, I don't think they're going to sell, and I don't think they're going to buy. Because the Yankees have nothing to sell, and they have nothing to buy for. The Yankees are probably just going to roll out with this team. I hope to make some sort of move that, shake up the roster a bit and don't just sit there and just wait until the deadline ends. I hope they don't do that, but, nonetheless, this has been the Inside the Blue podcast. Of course, we're at 41 subs, close to 50. Of course, hit that notification bell to let you know when I post. And, of course, this has been the Inside the Blue podcast. It's been Vin. We're breaking down the New York Yankees. Of course, I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace.